There are certain nights when you think you have fallen asleep, but in reality you have awakened somewhere else, a place where time, body, and even gravity no longer exist. But is this truly possible? Can our soul really leave our body and travel to other dimensions? Is this just a dream or a secret hidden by ancient wisdom? In this video, we will open the doors to a mystery mentioned in esoteric teachings for thousands of years. Astral travel. We are embarking on a long and very special journey into what it is, how it is done, and why it carries secrets about the depths of our lives. Now take a deep breath, because what I am about to tell you could completely change your perception of the world. Throughout human history, some things have never changed. No matter how much technology surrounds us, somewhere deep down, we have always felt it. I cannot consist of this body alone, because sometimes you see a dream, and upon waking, you feel that you didn't come from that dream, but from another reality. Sometimes time feels frozen. You belong to neither the past nor the future, yet you have been there. These are the moments when the soul transcends the body and wanders in other dimensions, known in ancient teachings as astral travel. Astral travel is the art of consciously transitioning to other dimensions without leaving the physical body. This is not an imagination, it is a part of our spiritual nature. Because we are not made of flesh and bone alone. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are spiritual travelers created from infinite consciousness. And this world, this body, is just a temporary vehicle. What is real is the passenger inside this vehicle. In fact, each of us embarks on this journey every night, while sleeping, in dreams, but mostly without realizing it. And that is where the matter begins. Awareness. Astral travel is an act performed with consciousness, and this consciousness leads us not only to other dimensions, but also to our own essence. So why do we travel astrally? Is it just curiosity? Just to see other worlds? No. The purpose of this journey is much deeper. Astral travel is for reuniting with our divine essence. It is for remembering who we are and why we are here. This is a quest, an awakening. It is a step the soul takes toward itself. Some travel astrally unconsciously in their dreams. Others want to use this ability consciously. But whatever the reason, this field requires respect. Because this is beyond the physical world. It is a realm where spiritual laws apply and intention reigns supreme. This is why astral travel is not a game. It requires conscious preparation and pure intention. Because it must not be forgotten, everything in the universe is recorded. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions are all recorded by our soul, and every night in the quietest moments of deep sleep, our soul rises through a tunnel of light. It reaches the Akashic fields, the high dimensions where everything is recorded. All that happened throughout the day is recorded there. And through astral travel, we can reach these fields and look at our lives from the outside. We can see who we are through the eyes of our true self. This shows us that astral travel is an innate ability. However, it is an ability we have forgotten. We must remember. We must remember our soul, our truth. Here, we must mention a very important concept: the assemblage point. This concept refers to where we gather our perception. It determines where we look at the universe from and from which point we construct reality. And during astral travel, we don't actually leave our body. We simply shift our assemblage point. We move this point from inside our head to a distant galaxy or another dimension. The body stays here, but consciousness looks at the world through a different window. In fact, we are in a state of astral travel every moment without realizing it. When our mind is in the past, lost in dreams, or not living in the moment, consciousness is already elsewhere. But the question is, are we truly here? Or is this just a reflection? Perhaps we are actually in the heart of the universal sun and only feel as if we are here. That is what astral travel is. It is a key that breaks this illusion. Once a person sees those dimensions, they can never be the same person again. They can never look at life, themselves, or the universe with the same eyes. Astral travel is an art that is as challenging as it is fascinating, because the journey is not made outward but inward, and the greatest obstacles in this inner world are hidden neither in space nor in dimensions. They lie in the depths of our minds. A person must first transcend the patterns, fears, and desires for control in their own mind to successfully complete this sacred journey. Many people get stuck at the same point when they try astral travel. At the very moment they feel they are leaving the body, the mind kicks in and says, it's happening right now. And at that exact moment, everything ends. Consciousness is pulled back into the body. Why? Because the mind's desire to control hinders the soul that is becoming free. Many people experience the fear of not being able to return during this experience. Yet, at the root of this fear lies a lack of trust in the true self. The effort to control what is happening is actually a resistance against the natural process of the soul. But the soul does not want to be controlled. It only wants to be remembered and set free. It wants to be trusted. This is where ancient teachings come into play. Methods kept secret for thousands of years exist to ensure this journey takes place safely. Because a journey made randomly can damage our energy body, and this damage appears in the physical world as imbalances, restlessness, or even psychological confusion, especially in involuntary out-of-body experiences caused by trauma, an accident, or a sudden shift in consciousness. The soul's return to the body can be difficult and painful. Therefore, disciplined preparation and a sacred ground are essential. So how do we build this safe ground? First of all, intention. Before embarking on an astral journey, we must ask ourselves why we want to take this trip. Any journey made just for curiosity, just to watch someone, or to satisfy one's own ego will eventually have a price. Because there is a law in this universe. You reap what you sow. In spiritual dimensions, this law works much faster. If you interfere with someone else's free will, you damage not only their spiritual space, but your own as well. Because every action has a consequence, and this consequence sometimes returns as illness, sometimes as spiritual imbalance, and sometimes as the loss of abilities. One does not play games with universal laws. Astral travel is not a sightseeing tour. It is a sacred journey of discovery, and the sacred can only be approached with pure intention. The second fundamental point is aligning with the light. If your intention is pure, your direction must be clear. Light. Aligning with the light means tuning in with universal consciousness. In any journey taken without transforming the darkness, fear, and anger within you, the probability of encountering similar energies increases. Because in spiritual dimensions, like attracts like. Whatever your vibration is, those compatible with that frequency are attracted to you. This is why preparation before astral travel requires not only technical but also spiritual cleansing. When you shift to the alpha wave frequency through deep meditation, the transition gates open on their own. When are you ready? Only when you begin to hear yourself in the silence. But this silence means not just the silencing of the outer world, but also the quieting of inner noise. When you silence the screams of the mind, you hear the whisper of your heart, and it is that whisper that leads you to the right path. The next step is creating your sacred space, surrounding the place where your body sits with a protective circle of light. This circle is drawn with your intention, your imagination, and your divine connection. This is the shield that will protect you in the astral planes. Within this circle, no low frequency can touch you. And finally, thought control. Travel in the astral plane occurs at the speed of thought. Wherever you want to go, you must clarify that place in your mind before going there. Because a momentary loss of focus can take you to completely different places. Therefore, if the target is clear, the intention is precise, and the preparation is complete, the journey begins safely. My fellow confidants, if you are ready, I am starting to mention techniques about astral travel that you have never heard before. The first thing a soul must do before embarking on an astral journey is to organize its inner world, not the outer world. Because spiritual travels are not made randomly, they must be carried out with conscious steps, disciplined practices, and sacred attention. This begins with the alignment of three basic areas: environment, body, and mind. First, the space. Order and simplicity must prevail around you, because a complex, messy, and dirty environment also clouds the mind. It should be simple. Excesses should be removed. The environment should ideally be lit by natural light or soft candlelight. To facilitate energy flow, the environment should be ventilated, and a fresh breeze should be let in. This is not just a physical cleaning, but also a spiritual one. Because the clearer the outside is, the deeper the inside can become. Then comes the body. Astral travel occurs more easily with a relaxed but alert body. Therefore, the body should first be gently relaxed. A warm shower can wash away the weight of the entire day. Wearing loose clothes, stepping on the ground with bare feet, or the lightness provided by a herbal tea. These are small but important steps. Additionally, the body should not be too full. Excessive food, caffeine, alcohol, or substances that disrupt the mind lower the quality of the journey. Because this is a journey of awareness, and you must be in control. And most importantly, the mind. The clarity of the mind is the heart of the astral journey. If the mind is tired, scattered, angry, or in fear, the journey either never happens or becomes uncontrolled. This is why meditation is a must. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and just watch your breath. Along with your breath, your mind gradually calms down. Thoughts come and go, but you do not hold on to them. Your intention is clear. You know where you are going, and you focus only there. These are the three basic areas: space, body, and mind. When you are ready, you can now establish the sacred space. With a method practiced in spiritual traditions for thousands of years, you draw a circle to protect yourself. Join your hands in a triangle position. Let the thumbs and index fingers touch each other. Then point this triangle just below the navel, toward the hara point. Begin to draw a circle with your imagination, your intention, and energy. Surround the area where you sit with this invisible light. When you complete this circle 3 times, your protection area is ready. Now you are not alone. You are no longer just a physical body. Now it is time to strengthen the astral muscles. This journey does not start suddenly. Like every muscle, consciousness must be trained, and this training begins with 3 basic exercises. The first is the practice of keeping the mind on a single point. Draw a black dot on a white wall or a white dot on a black wall. First, focus only on this dot for 5 minutes with your eyes open. Then, close your eyes and recreate that dot in your mind. How long can you keep that image steady? How quickly does your mind wander elsewhere? This is exactly what you need most in astral travel. Focus. If you cannot keep this simple point in your mind for 5 minutes, how will you maintain a conscious journey? Repeat this exercise 4 times a day for between 5 to 10 minutes. The mind is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. And with that strength, the soul sets out more resolutely. Now my mind has learned to focus on a single point. Now it is time to expand this focus. Because the journey in the astral plane is more like a space than a line. The mind must learn to work not only with a single point, but also with images that change, transform, and grow. The exercise to be done during the 2nd week targets exactly this. We start with the dot exercise we worked on in the previous section. We visualize that black or white dot in our mind. But this time, we don't just keep it steady. Now we start to grow the dot. Feel this expansion in your mind slowly along with your breath, and imagine this expanding area as a veil representing the boundary between the physical world and the astral plane. And approach this veil, reach out your hand, touch it, maybe like a tool or a slight vibration. This will take shape according to your perception. But do not pass through completely. This week, just get to know the texture of the veil, feel the boundary. Meeting that boundary is to respect it. Spiritual laws open with awareness, not by force. Repeat this exercise 4 times a day in 10-minute periods. As the mind learns patience, it begins to expand, and this expansion opens doors not only to astral dimensions, but also to internal discoveries. Because this veil is the boundary between the outside and the inside, as much as it is the boundary between consciousness and the unconscious. Some practitioners feel slight vibrations when they approach this veil. Some hear a hum, some feel a coolness, sometimes a deep silence, sometimes a rising peace. Every soul's perception is different, and all are correct. At this point, the important thing is not just to try to see, but to feel. This is why this exercise is not just a mental study, but also an energy awareness. It is to strengthen the communication between your mind and your soul. Your body may be sitting here, but consciousness slowly begins to open to other dimensions. From this point on, the next step prepares you for a real transition. Passing through the tunnel. Now your mind is ready, your body is relaxed, your environment has been made sacred, Your mental focus has strengthened. Now it is time for the first real transition. But this transition must not be random. It must be a conscious journey guided by wisdom. Because the astral plane is an area where intention takes shape. Wherever you think of, you are there. If your goal is not clear, it gets complicated on the way. That is why you first draw a map. Determine the place you want to go. It could be a mountain peak, a city you've been to before, or a star cluster. But there is a rule. You must clearly visualize the place you are going in your mind. You must have seen it before, or at least be able to construct it with images in your mind. You should choose a target where your soul calls, but your mind can give direction, not unknown places. Now close your eyes. Recall that point you worked on before in your mind and expand it. Let it cover the entire wall. Now that point is no longer a veil, but turns into a tunnel. A passage opening to eternity. A soft passage filled with light where stars glide. This is your portal. Take a deep breath and just feel your intention. I am going there now, and pass through. The most surprising part of astral travel is its speed. Paths measured in kilometers in the physical world take only as long as a thought here. Because here, speed is thought. Wherever the mind is directed, consciousness is there, and therefore the purity of your thoughts and the clarity of your intention are very important. You might hear any sound while going, hums, echoes, sometimes frequencies that cannot be put into words. Do not be afraid of these, because what you hear during the transition are remnants of consciousness carried with you. Just observe, just watch, do not judge, do not interfere, and suddenly you will find yourself somewhere else. Familiar but strange, real but different. Now your first conscious astral travel is taking place. Your mind may still be here, but your soul is gathering experience in a new plane. This experience is sometimes very clear. Sometimes, when you return, it remains only as a feeling. Both cases are correct, because this journey is not about collecting memories, but about building awareness. At the end of the journey, after the duration you've determined, be it 30 or 45 minutes, return consciously. Close your eyes, leave the astral plane you are in behind. See the tunnel again and return here to your body. Breathe slowly, make your weight felt in your body, move your fingers and open your eyes. Do you feel anything? Perhaps a deep serenity, an indescribable lightness, or that strange peace where everything gains a bit more meaning. That is your soul returning to its own home and settling back into its body. And you are no longer just a human, but a conscious traveler. Remember, this is just a beginning. Your soul is only starting to remember its true power. Astral travel is not just a technique. It is an art and a morality that has been taught since ancient times. Yes, you heard that right. Morality. Because even the smallest intention in spiritual planes echoes. Why you do what you do leaves deeper traces than how you do it. This is why astral travel must be done with wisdom. The first rule on this path is this: respect for free will. Entering someone else's space without permission in the astral plane is not only a spiritual attack, but also a betrayal of your own soul, because freedom is sacred in the realm of souls. Touching someone else's thoughts, privacy, or energy without permission wounds not only that person, but you as well. And this wound is recorded by divine laws. Rule: stay away from the darkness. Yes, you can travel to the stars, to planets, to sacred places, but you must stay away from dark regions. In the corridors of the universe, there are black holes, areas where low-frequency beings concentrate. These places are attractive because they touch the shadows of the subconscious. But they are also dangerous, because when the intention is corrupted there, returning becomes difficult. The basic protection in astral travel is aligning with the light. Light here is not just an image, but a frequency. When you rise to that frequency, you enter a vibration field that separates you from low energies. This is only possible with pure intention, a clean mind, and love. Therefore, before every journey, you should ask this question: why do I want to make this journey? Is it really to learn, to develop, to open myself up? Or is it just curiosity, to satisfy my ego? In time, you will see where your answer takes you. Because every intention in the universe gives birth to its own echo. Well, is all the information we encounter in astral travel correct? No. Because spiritual planes include not only reality, but also potential reflections. Everything you see there can be shaped by every possibility passing through your mind. Therefore, interpret what you see not as absolute truth, but as symbols, and listen to your intuition, because intuition is the most reliable compass of the astral planes. And remember, no matter what you see, you are not alone there. There are high consciousnesses that protect, guide, and watch you. Respect them. When the journey is made not like a tourist but like a traveler, the doors open more. It is said in sacred teachings, every traveler carries their own light, but how they light that light determines where it will take them. You too light your light with pure intention. No path that does not match the light will take you to your true self. Therefore, let the final rule of astral travel be this: look out not only for yourself, but for the whole. Because every piece of information you receive on this journey is an entrustment given to you, and this entrustment finds its true meaning when it is used one day for the good of others. Now you have learned. Astral travel is not only a journey made to the stars, the real journey begins toward the infinite universe inside you, and now you look at life again with this wisdom. You walk on the same street, perhaps, but now with a different awareness. You look into the same mirror, but the light in your eyes has changed. Because now you know you are not just a body, you are not just a thought or an emotion. You are a consciousness coming from the stars. You are a traveler remembering a forgotten piece of information, and every night, in every meditation, in every intention, you are a soul getting a little closer to yourself. At the end of this adventure, perhaps I should whisper the most important truth to you. This information was applied by thousands of people before you, and thousands more will pass through the same path after you. But this path is different for everyone, because every soul's path is toward the truth within itself. Your path belongs only to you. Remember, every conscious step you take in this universe echoes in another dimension. Astral planes are not just for going, but for knowing yourself and remembering your wholeness. And a life lived with this awareness illuminates not only this world, but all other dimensions. Now close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to the infinite silence within yourself. The vibration of light is there, a high awareness watching you is there, and the place where all journeys begin is there. Truly, this is not an end. This is the threshold of awakening. From now on, every night, every dream, every silence can be a new door. Because you are no longer just someone who lives, but someone who is truly beginning to wake up.